I want to run through some ideas for Mew, specifically in the context of the upcoming Mewtwo raids on September 1st, and I have some ideas for some sets that I want to run by you guys. Before we get started, I just want to give a quick reminder that at the time of this video goes up, there is currently a event going on right now in Scarlet and Violet for Tera raids featuring some really good supporter Pokemon, some of which actually probably could still be really good for these upcoming Mewtwo raids. The reason I bring it up is because it is a fantastic way of getting yourself Tera shards, EXP candies, TMs, stat boosting items, all the stuff you're going to need to build a Mew, or whatever Pokemon you want to build for the upcoming raids. Grind out the handful of raids you get every day. They're going to look like this on your mini-map, and this event's going to last from August 18th to the 31st, so you've got about another 10 days to grind this out if you haven't started already, and it could save you a lot of money. I built my Mew today basically for free. Alright, let's go over a couple of sets that I have put together for Mew. This first one is going to be pretty close to the set that I'm going to be showing off today, except instead of Psyshock, I opted for Psychic, just so I didn't have to use a TM since it learned Psychic by level up. And instead of the black glasses, I'm using Shell Bell, and that will be the case for pretty much any of these sets. Shell Bell will substitute in beautifully. This one is my Dark Tera Mew. It is rocking Nasty Plot, Fake Tears, and Dark Pulse as its main forms of stat control and damage, with Psyshock as a little bit of a filler move. You could probably slot in quite a few different moves on this last slot here. You could even go for maybe something like Life Dew would be pretty good as a little bit more of a support oriented, help keep your HP up and your teammates HP up. But the main focus of this Mew is going to be that 3-move combo, Nasty Plot, Fake Tears, Dark Pulse. It's gonna ideally obliterate Mewtwo, and again, these are all sets that I'm setting up before the Mewtwo raids come out, so I have no idea. I haven't tested any of these, but like on paper seems okay, right? And of course we got max HP and max special attack, and I always put my last 4 EVs in speed, but realistically you could put them in defense or whatever. Here we have my Bug Tera Mew. Again, I thought this might be kind of a fun one for the Mewtwo raid. It has Leech Life to keep itself healthy, Swords Dance to boost that Leech Life, X-Scissor, also taking advantage of the Swords Dance, and Pollen Puff, which can do damage, or primarily the way that I would probably be using it is to heal your teammates. Bug Tera Mew can heal itself with Leech Life and its teammates with Pollen Puff. It can set up the Swords Dances, and then ideally combined with this Muscle Band and a Tera, that X-Scissor is going to be doing ridiculous amounts of damage. Next up, we have the more support-oriented Mew set that I've come up with. This one is a Water Tera Mew. But the idea here with this Water Tera is it's going to boost that Chilling Water to help you break down those shields along with the rest of your team. This is not really a sweeping Mew. This would not really be a soloing Mew either. But if you're playing online with friends, you might be better off being the main supporter. Chilling Water lowers the opposing Pokemon's attack stat as well as does damage, which means Chilling Water can continue to lower that attack stat after the Pokemon you're facing push up its shields. Same thing with Acid Spray. That's lowering its special defense by 2 and does damage, so it also will lower its stats through the shields. Life Dew, of course, to keep yourself and your teammates healthy, and then Iron Defense to boost your defense stat. But again, I don't know what this Pokemon's moveset's going to look like, what this Mewtwo's moveset's going to look like, so Iron Defense probably could be swapped out for something like Calm Mind, maybe a different move, someone could get creative with it, right? And last but not least, we have the Stored Power build. And once you get all of your stats maxed out, which is going to be probably next to impossible in the Mewtwo raid because you're going to be taking large chunks of damage and it's going to be constantly resetting your stats, but ridiculous amounts of damage. It's going to be crazy. Now that we've gone over the sets, it's time to actually get our Mew. And you can still claim your very own Mew until Monday, September 18th, using the code GETYOURMEW by going into your Pokeportal, scrolling down to Mystery Gift, selecting Get with Code/Password, and typing in the password on screen now. This will grant you with a random Tera-type Mew with random EVs and IVs, but that's okay because we can fix that pretty easily in this game. Now that we've got our Mew, it's time to set this guy up. The first thing you're gonna need is plenty of Poké-Dollars. Now, there are two really easy ways of doing this. The most legal way would probably be to go ahead and just participate in a whole ton of Tera raid battles. Not only is it a good way to get items you can sell to the Pokemart, but also can be a good way to get extra Tera shards, leveling items, sometimes just items in general. So participate in as many raid battles as you can stand. By the time you're done, you should have plenty of items to sell, give you a nice chunk of change towards the amount that you're going to need for a new Pokemon, which is about 600,000 Poké-Dollars. Realistically though, you could probably make that in a day if you're doing the Tera raids. Alternatively, if you happen to have a controller for your Nintendo Switch that has a turbo function, this one here, an adapter that I have for my GameCube controllers, you actually can get money completely AFK. All you're gonna need to do is set this thing up to auto battle the tournament at the school in the post game, and just go in with Flutter Mane and let it moonblast everything, and overnight you'll make a couple million Poké-Dollars and you'll be good to go. Either way, once you have your 600,000 Poké-Dollars, the first thing you're gonna wanna do is head to this store right here in Mesagoza. Once you're here, you're gonna go ahead and find the stat boosting items. Find the one you're looking for. For example, we're gonna need calcium, HP ups, and Carbos for this Mew, and keep an eye on the amount you already have in your bag. You're only gonna need 26 of whatever 2 stats you're trying to max out. And while you're in here, you might want to grab some PP ups as well, because that's going to be pretty important, especially with this Mewtwo raid. I believe it's still going to have the ability Pressure, so extra PP is going to be important. Once you have all of your boosting items, you're going to go into your bag. They should be in the candy looking slot, and just go ahead and put 26 of the 2 stat boosting items you're going to need. After you fit 26 of each of those down its gullet, slap 1 Carbos, or if you want to boost one of its defenses, 1 of the defense boosting item, and then use whatever PP ups you purchased to max out all of its PP. Now you can go ahead and fly yourself up to Montenevaria. That's not. And when you spawn into the Pokemon Center, all you're going to want to do is look directly behind you for the guy standing with his Obama Snow. If you have bottle caps, which again, if you're doing enough raids, you should have some bottle caps just kind of laying around at this point. But if you do not have any bottle caps, you actually can buy them from Delibird Presents. But once you have at least 6 bottle caps, you're going to go ahead and max out whatever stats you're actually going to be using. So for us, we can leave the attack stat alone. Once you're done adjusting your EVs, you're going to head over to Medali East and head actually straight into the gym, which of course doubles as a restaurant, if you remember that. And we're going to be heading straight back to this lady right here with the orange text above her head, asking if we can change the Tera type, which of course we'd like to do. Now just select whatever Tera type you're hoping to build for. Again, ours is going to be dark in this instance. And then select the Pokemon you'd like to feed them to. If you do not have enough Tera shards, sadly the only way to get Tera shards is to do the raids. So doing raids is a really good way to get set up for raids. It's weird how it works that way, huh? But now with our Tera type fixed, all of our stats maxed out and adjusted, and our move set in place, I think it's time we actually try this thing out. Alright, so my Tera raid battle options for today are pretty lackluster. This is probably the best showing that I have available today for this Mew set. I believe it can do better than a 5-star Honchkrow, but just to show that the idea is solid. Alrighty, so first things first, step 1, I'm gonna fake tears this thing. I want to lower its stats as low as I can. Those super effective Night Slashes do not feel good. We see a Haze that resets its own stats as well though. We set up the shield, that's according to plan. Nullifies our stat changes, we didn't have any, we just hazed. Stole Tera Orb Charge, so that's the thing I guess. I'm gonna go ahead and Nasty Plot, since I know I can take 1 Night Slash. We do get some semi-decent recovery from Shell Bell, which is the whole point of the item. We see another Haze, resetting our stats again. I guess this Honchkrow is not going to make it easy, but we're just going to go ahead and Tera when we can. Let's see if we can build up that Tera charge. No, Honchkrow said no. Honchkrow said no, you're not allowed to do that. He's removed and reset our stats twice now. This is a 5-star Honchkrow. What are you doing, bud? Okay, that's okay. I think we live in Night Slash barring a crit. This thing doesn't seem to be super luck, so I think we're okay here. Oh, we see a wing attack come out. It is Moxie. Moxie's actually a little scary now, I'm not gonna lie, because now he's got +2 attack. He is getting hit by Foul Play from this Umbreon. That's an interesting idea. He stumbled and broke his stance. I know that we're low, but I'm gonna Tera, which is gonna give me a resistance or neutrality at least. I think Dark resists Dark, doesn't it? And that way we can hit this thing hard. We get extra Shell Bell recovery and don't take super effective damage. The brain. It's the big of the brain. Extra recovery. We're sitting at 145 health right now. We see a nasty plot come out, but it's been hitting us with physical attacks this whole time, so that's a decision that I made. Alright, after Shell Bell recovery on these 2 turns, we went from 47 HP to 196, I think that was. So, just shows to go, yeah, the Shell Bell does wonders. And no, I don't want to catch you. This was just, I was just trying to show off that this Mew works. Wow, that was a much longer video than I expected that it was going to be, but I went pretty in depth here, and I hope that it helped at least one of you out there. And if you did find it helpful, don't forget to hit that like button before you go, and subscribe if you are indeed new around here. Now, if you don't mind, I seem to have lost a couple of my marbles, so I'm gonna have to find those, but hopefully I'll be back soon once I locate those. I don't even know where to start.